water it. Watch out for pests and weeds until I harvest it. First I break the ground. Fertilizer down. Seed and sow it up. Let it get some sun. Every day I water it. Watch out for pests and weeds until I harvest it. Go ahead, grow hard, grow smarter. Go ahead, go hard, grow harder. Go ahead, grow hard, grow smarter. Go ahead, go hard, grow harder. Photosynthesis, yeah, that give my plants light. Fertilizer and nitrogen get my soil right. I give my plants plenty of water cause they need it. The roots compete for the nutrients, so I weed it. Try to conserve my energy, I might need it later. When you use less fuel, it makes the profit greater. I'm eco-friendly when I'm growing. Thankful for the sunlight and water when it's flowing. Shout out to all the bees and all the pollinators. They help to reproduce the plants when we need them later. On the farm, we grow the food that we need to eat. From the vegetables and fruits to the fresh meat. We grow that fiber for our clothes and to build with. And buy a fuel for my tractor, let's take a field trip. This farmer brown going green even in my city. Growing hard, got the green team with me. First I break the ground, and then I till it up. Put fertilizer down, let seeds and sow it up. Let it get some sun, every day I water it. Watch out for pests and weeds until I harvest it. First I break the ground, then I till it up. Put fertilizer down, let seeds and sow it up. Let it get some sun, every day I water it. Watch out for pests and weeds until I harvest it. Go ahead, grow hard, grow smarter. Go ahead, go hard, grow harder. Go ahead, grow hard, grow smarter. Go ahead, go hard, grow harder. Break the ground, then I till it up. Put fertilizer down, let seeds and sow it up. Let it get some sun, every day I water it. Watch out for pests and weeds until I harvest it. First I break the ground, then I till it up. Put fertilizer down, let seeds and sow it up. Let it get some sun, every day I water it. Watch out for pests and weeds until I harvest it.
What's growing on? What's growing on? What's growing on? Welcome back to B1AG, where we focus on agriculture, agricultural production, education, marketing, nutrition, and economics for the Black family and the Black community, because we are B1 first. What's going on, everybody? Hope your day is going well, and hope you're in a good growth state of mind. Today, we're going to talk about a guy. You know, we've talked about him before, but it just seems like he won't stop. There's no limit to what he's capable of doing in the agricultural world. And this guy is Master P. And today's show, we're going to talk about him because Master P is a no-limit soldier for agriculture. If you did not know, we're here to tell you about it. Master P continues to make large strides in the world of agriculture and food production, as he is really encouraging black grocery stores. He realized the importance of being able to feed yourself, and also the fact that with him being from a projects in a food desert, the importance of just the availability of good food to eat in certain parts and demographics in different neighborhoods. And he plans on, and he's not just talking about it. He is opening up businesses and really doing something about it in a major way to make himself a major player in the agricultural world, in the food world, but also promoting financial and economic empowerment, you know what I'm saying, through food. You know, he's using food to achieve financial empowerment. And that's very important. I'm boy John Henry. We have Farmer Brown DMC. What you got to say to him, Farmer Brown?
First, I'd just like to say peace to the B1 family. This makes me feel good as a member of the hip-hop community, seeing somebody like Master P, the effect that he's had on society since a lot of us were coming up, jumping off the porch to see that his whole No Limit empire has morphed into something much larger than selling music. I think right now, I know we had discussed this before, I feel like Master P is an angel. If we watch his moves, he's literally a living blueprint of how we empower ourselves in our community. When we talk about him being a no-limit soldier for agriculture, and so I would encourage some of the viewers to do their own research to figure out actually how many black-owned grocery stores there are in North America. And so over the past few days, I've really been trying to find it, and so you'll find black-owned food products, which is a great thing. We know over the last year or so, there's been a lot of new black entrepreneurs getting into food production and value-added products. But when you look up black-owned grocery stores, I couldn't find more than 10 in North America. Also, when you do the history, a lot of times we talk about redlining, the effect that it's had on the ability of the B1 family to accumulate wealth, to get housing. This same effect has applied to supermarkets. And it's been shown through research that supermarkets actually value non-black areas when it comes to where they're going to build their stores. The implications of this are, okay, people in the black communities don't necessarily have direct access to healthy food options, which opens up for the corner stores, which opens up for the bodegas that, we're just kind of getting whatever we can, second, third grade food. So what Master P is doing is great, and I would hope that the hip-hop artists, some of the people who really have influence with people are taking note.
Me being a big hip hop fan, my whole life I've been riding with hip hop since the inception. I'm young enough to still be a fan, but old enough to have been able to see the entire ride of hip hop, and and have my window seat, and to see Master P go from the ghetto's trying to kill me to now he's got his own noodles and cereals and pushing his own food products, and everything that he's doing it's amazing. It's been amazing to watch, and he's really showing the power of business and entrepreneurship, also weaving it with community and being accountable to his community, and it's been a wonderful thing to watch. Now, I want to play for y'all real quick because again, he has his own cereal, but I want to show y'all. I have to show you I just got to show you this to show you because Master P is changing the narrative. We had our Aunt Jemima, and that got taken down. We had our Uncle Ben. They took out Uncle Ben. So now Master P is poisoning himself, changing the narrative, even just the way we're viewed in this food space from a product standpoint. So I want to play y'all just this little anthem from Master P's cereal called Hootie Hoos. Those that were No Limit fans, he had a song called Hootie Hoo back in the day. What you gonna do?
Hootie Hoo!
What you gonna do? All right, but now he has changed that Hootie Hoos to a cereal. And I want to play for y'all the anthem for his cereal. He has some young men called YGK. They created the anthem for his cereal. And I really want y'all to check this out.
What you gonna do? Ha! What you gonna do? What you can? What you gonna do? Hoo-hoo! Yeah, I got my milk and my spoon, know what I'm ready to do. I'm about to grab me a bowl and grab my cereal too. And then got my hootie hoo for the what I'ma do. Just to get my day started, need my hootie hoo. Oh yeah, that tropical fruit, oh yeah, that cinnamon apple. Got that honey drip, cause that drip stays forever. I don't see no competition when we talk about cereal. Captain Crunch, Fruit Loops to the back of the building. Everybody unique, bright, country, and sweet. When you see me hoo-doo-hoo, cause that's all I eat. Hoo-doo-hoo, what you gon' do? Hoo-doo-hoo, what you gon' do? Hoo-doo-hoo, what you gon' do? Hoo-doo-hoo, what you gon' do?
Can y'all see that? Can you see that? Master P is changing the face of groceries around here. I have never tasted the Hootie Hoos, but I choose that over some Fruit Loops any day now, just because of the commercial.
So check this out, man. So according to Heather Garlich, this is a spokesperson for FMI. This is a trade group for food retail industry. Market, economic, and demographic factors influence a company's decision to establish a store. Grocery stores require an adequate customer base and economic support to remain viable. Once again, when we have this B1AG conversation, it lays it out. It's nothing for question. For a store to exist in any location or community, you have to have X amount of consumers to come to your store. What we know is 100% of us eat. I don't really eat as much cereal as I used to, but I have two 2-year-olds that are inevitably going to eat cereal. Anywhere you go around the country, most children eat cereal. These are consumer decisions we can make internally in our house. This isn't a protest that we have to have. This isn't an argument that we have to have with Kroger or Publix or one of the more established grocery chains trying to convince them to prioritize our communities. What Master P has done is take an initiative to take the first step. And so we see that you need a consumer base and you need economic backing. And so P is taking all of that money from the CDs, the movies, the Nickelodeon, all of these endeavors that most of us have watched him build over the decades, and he's creating this model in Louisiana right now. What he represents is, a lot of us, we grow up and we talk about, one day I want to feed the block. Many times we're talking about dope. I'm going to feed the block. We're going to get this work going. But what Master P is, he took it to a whole nother level. And as the world is watching, as we're watching all of the, what we'll call injustices, as we're watching all of these blatant undermining of the black family, undermining of the black community, he is showing us a blueprint. In a perfect utopia, so you think about when we were growing up and even now, one of the big things with any artist, you're going to represent your hood. You're going to represent where you're from. So I remember Cleveland, you have your Bone Thugs. New York, you have all your New York artists. Jersey, Carolina, Florida. What if each one of these areas that were influenced, because hip-hop has had a huge influence on all of these areas, had the same model that Master P is creating in Louisiana? What effect would that have not only on our health outcomes, but on black economics? Because we were looking at one interview, I don't know if you still have it, but he was specifically talking about, I'm not in the game of trying to help somebody or give somebody a hand, but I'll give you a hand up for you to help yourself. These become jobs. The other day we were talking about the robots delivering food. And we know, generally speaking, when technology comes into play, this equates to less jobs for the B1 family. And so when you have your own black-owned grocery stores, okay, within our store, we don't have billions of dollars to spend on these self-scanning machines. And so we're going to take it old school. We're just going to have a human being that can sit here and talk with you and have a conversation. Hey, we're going to have cart guys. You go to Kroger, Walmart, or whatever, you have people to push carts. You have your management. You have your administration. Like we saw with these children in the Hootie Hoos video. This is the power that hip-hop has. If you think back, why do you know Kroger exists? Let's go Krogering. It's advertising. What we know is hip-hop is the most listened to music on this planet. And though we're not making the most money out of it now because we've allowed it to be gentrified by other groups, it still has a value. Hip-hop, outside of the words being used, we're emitting wave energy. Not to get too scientific or woke, but this whole world operates on waves. And we happen to come from a group of people that We've mastered these waves. And so is there a way, it's not to say every rapper should go out here and rap about food and grocery stores, but, I think about, what are some things we can get these youth into talking about? Any one of these youth groups could go viral. Why not be viral promoting somebody's business? Why not be viral promoting somebody's value-added products? Because once again, like I touched on earlier, these are all value-added products when you go to most grocery stores, meaning there was something natural that grew out of the ground. Instead of me just selling you this ear of corn, I'll get corn, process it, turn it into cornflakes, process it, turn it into cornmeal, process it, turn it into something that you eat other than the actual product that came out of the ground. This would definitely be a great asset for the farmers, because right now black farmers have a hard time getting in any of the mainstream retail stores. There's 3.5 million farmers in North America right now. Out of that 3.5 million, is less than 50,000 black farmers. And so one of the things to keep the black farmers alive and thriving is to have specific markets and locations where they can sell their products. Not only that, we know most of these farmers can't afford to have commercials running on CBS, NBC. So how do we use our culture that we do still have dominance over? We're not making the money from hip hop like we're supposed to, but we're still the major drivers behind this force. How do we tie these together for farmers to already know, okay, instead of me waiting to see if somebody's going to let me bring my produce to, say, Kroger or Publix, we already have these food chains that this rapper guy, what's his name, Percy Miller, Master P, most of the farmers have never heard of Master P. But once again, and it kind of ties into the purpose of B1AG, this isn't about the individual. This isn't about the messenger. This is about the message of what can each of us do in our respective capacities within our communities to add to this broader dynamic of feeding ourselves. And not only feeding ourselves, but feeding the pockets of those who can produce the food that we need to eat.
And Master P has not strayed from his original business plan. If you think about it, when he was selling music, he went and opened up a music store, so he can in turn sell his own music out of a legitimate retail space. Master P, when he came with his own food brands and value-added food products, okay, that's fine, that's cool. But Master P is not the type of guy that's going to beg you to sell his own food. So if you're not going to sell Master P's food, even if you are going to put Master P's products, Uncle P, and all his products in your store, he's still going to open up his own store to sell his own products. And that's one thing that he is very, very determined to do. That's what he does. But he also encourages other people to do the same. I have another video I like to play for y'all. It's less than 3 minutes, just a short interview, but he really breaks down how he's pushing for black-owned groceries and why. So I would like the B1 family, the B1AG family, to check this out as well, because the guy is very, outside of just being inspirational, he's very intentional about what he is doing for us, as well as for in our community and our kids. Just one moment as I bring up this video.
I used to go on and on and on. Now I'm going, delicious.
Well, you know who that is. Of course, he's a legend in the music world for his No Limit record label. And while he's made iconic hits, Master P has never stopped at just the music. He's a very successful entrepreneur in many different arenas. He's created food, alcohol, and even shoe brands. And he's joining us this morning with a push to buy black grocery stores. Thank you so much for joining us, Master P. Always great to have you on.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yeah, tell us what you're working on these days.
Well, you know what? It's so important. It's Black History Month, and I feel like it's time for us to take over the Black community through the grocery stores. I think that it's time that I have a lot of product, and you guys know I have Big Papa burgers in Harvey, and I just feel like we can empower us and control the narrative by being able to give
our culture opportunities, and just being able to buy grocery stores in our community, I think is so important. And what's going on with Rossi's, I don't know them, I don't know their characters, so I can't judge them. I know that God has blessed me and given me a second chance, and whatever they're going through, you know, they do the right thing, God will continue blessing them. But I'm thinking the stores that they have in the Black community, I think that it's time for us to get an opportunity. This is a business opportunity that we can buy those stores and be able to put people into different positions and opportunities and control the narrative. It's all about economic empowerment. So it's all about us empowering us.
Yeah, and you did reference, of course, that controversy with Rouse's that had a lot of locals wanting to boycott Rouse's stores, looking for somewhere Black-owned to shop, and they're not being options.
Yes, and I think it's an imbalance when it comes to that. And I love my people, whether they're white, Black, Asian, Latino, but I'm saying add some diversity in this grocery store space. It's time. I think that this is the way that we can change poverty, and whatever those guys are going through, you know, we're from New Orleans, we're stronger, we'll get through it. So, but I feel like for us, it's a great opportunity for African Americans to really start thinking about ownership and change that narrative. We talk about economic empowerment and diversity, really get you there, because we done marched, we done stood up for our rights. It's Black History Month, but the way we change the narrative is through economic empowerment.
Certainly. So is this you saying that you're looking to buy a grocery store locally in the area? Or are you calling on entrepreneurs who have the funding and money to do so, to do that?
Yes, no, I'm looking to do that. I'm looking to give our people opportunity, jobs, to be able to put money back into the community. I mean, if you look at these stores, I mean, these stores are making a lot of money in our communities, but nobody look like us owning them. So I think it's time for that. When you do the right thing, God will continue blessing you. And I think that's what the importance of for me and my purpose. I feel like it's my purpose to educate and teach entrepreneurs that look like us that we can have these opportunities and get a seat at the table and do what's right, and also put value back into our community for its education, feed the homeless, feed the elderly. And that's only if we could do that through economic empowerment.
Sure. And quickly, do you already have a store that you're eyeing, a particular one?
Well, you know what? Through the pandemic, a lot of stores are closing. So I'm eyeing a lot of different places that I'm looking for in the city of New Orleans to say, you know what, let's make some grocery stores look like us. And that's what I'm. I think this is through Black History Month. When you look at this, this is the way that we change the narrative for our culture and our people. This is how we change poverty in our community. People want a hand up, not a hand out. People are really wanting to be able to work. I feel like this is a way that we can give our culture opportunity to be bosses, our culture to be supervisors, to be owners in these business that in our community. I think that's the way we change the narrative.
All right, and I know you're doing your part. Unfortunately, Master P, we are out of time. I hate to cut you off, but thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
So you hear it right out of his mouth.
Word out of the horse's mouth. And so real quick, kind of tying into a conversation we were having not too long ago about Bill Gates and the synthetic meat. And so since that time, according to TechCrunch.com, Bill Gates has raised $47 million to make this synthetic meat happen through a company called Meatable. Now, either that's good or that's bad. 47 million equates to $1 from every what we would call foundational Black or African American in North America towards making something happen. Like Master P said, the days of asking somebody to help or to neglect their own best interest to come, so-called save the foundational Blacks, I think that is very unrealistic. But he also said this is the grand opportunity. I know here in Kentucky there's so many brick and mortar stores that are just gone. Business is gone. They reached their peak of their consumer base. The beauty that we have in the B1 community, we've never really galvanized around a Black-owned grocery chain. And so, we're a group of people that like new things. And so we're in a time and space right now where we can create these new grocery stores. We can create what the grocery store of the future looks like. When we think about you think about people that do hair. right? You think about the hair products that we go to the Asian stores and all of these other stores to get. Within these grocery stores, there's a lot of other businesses that can be incorporated. So once again, this isn't just about feeling good. Oh, I spent $1 with a black person. No, this is literally about strategic, codified approaches to building economics. The beauty of it is we're specifically talking about food. You can't go wrong by feeding yourself. You can't go wrong by having a tangible asset. Because I can tell you now, just looking at the talk around this farm bill, I've been able to talk to a lot of elders. It's a huge trick bag. It's a huge trick bag that I see 3.9 trillion in buying power. I'm talking a fourth of that. If we could apply a fourth of that over maybe 5 years, this would equate to at least a black grocery store in each of the major cities, right? And so we're just dealing with basic economics. This turns into jobs because the computers are coming. AI is coming. White people are losing jobs. Asians are losing jobs. Hispanics, they work kind of within their own communities.
AI
but the point is what's that?
AI is here.
AI is here. It's not make believe. And so as a B1 family, we really have to look at, okay, we're gonna have to do something. My 2-year-olds, they're not going to, when I was 14, I was at my first job was selling newspaper subscriptions. That's not going to exist as a viable job for them by the time they're old enough to work. I remember a lot of people when we were going to high school, they would go work at a grocery store or fast food, just to make money to go to the games, get their school clothes. Those jobs don't exist. They don't exist. And every day we're watching this drive towards technology, and AI is pushing us farther to the back. So once again, here at B1AG, we don't like to dwell on the problems because, most of us have lived long enough to see, oh, this is a thing. And so now the beauty, and it warms my heart to see the Master P of all people in the world. Because I remember the truth tattooed on my back. That's my clique, ready to hop. I remember the gold grills. I remember how that changed here in Central Kentucky. I remember everybody was true. Everybody was claiming TRU, no limit. No limit soldier.
I thought I told you.
For him to take the initiative, it wasn't one of the artists under him. It was him. It was the head man. I think that means a lot because it would have been just as easy for him to enjoy his gold ceilings. It would have been just as easy for him to go get Bentleys and all of these material things. But something came to him and he said, you know what? I need to do something for my community. I'm somebody that people look to as an icon. And what I'm going to use with my icon power, my voice, my megaphone, is to actually create something. And not just create something that you're going to give me money for, but I'm going to create a blueprint that other people can follow. And so I really hope, I doubt it's a lot of superstars that watch this podcast, but I know there's somebody that's watching this. It might be one person that's watching this that happens to be 1 degree separation from somebody who's influencing in their community. It might be a cousin that got to go to the league, balling. It might be a brother or sister that went to the league or got this nice high-paying job. These are conversations that we need to have yesterday. Like, hey, we can do these backpack drives every year, but we're getting these backpacks where, these kids do great in school with their new backpack. Where are they going to work after they get out of school? And so more important than these aesthetic victories, and, I hate to deviate away, but it all ties together. We think about this farm bill. It is a huge trick bag. A lot of us are being made to believe that we're making these great accomplishments by somebody saying, okay, I'll forgive your loans. It's good for the farmers who had loans, but what about all the new farmers who didn't take out loans through the USDA or FSA? This wasn't a help for them. And it's actually helping, socially disadvantaged is a very vague word. My thing is I don't care about what other people got going on right now. This is B1. We need to be very codified on what's going on. And like I said, Master P is literally right now the blueprint. As I was watching the interview, I was thinking to myself, what can I do? So I don't have millions to work with. I'm not that popular, I'm cool. People know me around here as the rapping farmers, the farmer guy, so to speak, is using my voice. Like I said, there's something I could say to influence somebody who knows somebody with a building that just got shut down. And, this is when you get into cooperative economics. And so trying to take on a project like this by yourself, everybody don't have P money, of course. But within any given community, like you said, we're generating $3.7 trillion, annually within our community. All it takes 3.9. That 2 trillion, that 2 makes a big difference. Within our community, there's always at least 10 people that understand real estate very well. They might not know anything about grocery stores, but that goes into, we got a lot of smart sisters. I can say here in Central Kentucky, I've just over the last year watched at least 10 different businesses where it either had to do with ag or value-added product or selling, or even, like the shea butters and skin cream, which we spend a lot of money on. I've watched sisters who normally, these are just normal everyday people. These aren't people that went and got degrees. These aren't the most so-called articulate people, but they've been able to take an idea and turn it into a product. And so what happens when you're able to take the people who are able to create these products, match them with the people who understand how to purchase real estate, cooperative economics. You and I were talking earlier about Deutsche Bank. A lot of these banks aren't even giving black people credit. They're literally, I'm not even going to answer the phone. As soon as you let me know your name sounds like it's ethnic, I'm not even going to entertain it. And, my thing is we are not in a situation where we can waste a lot of time hoping somebody changes their mind. This is real life. To the religious people, not to throw shade, but this, everything in your Bible, your Quran, or whatever you look at, this is the time to apply it. It's one thing, I can pray all day, God, come down, God, come down. I sent y'all this guy called Master P. Matter of fact, I didn't send y'all no square. I didn't send you no lame. I sent you somebody because in our age group, most of us grew up in Master P. What we know about our age group is we're the parents of the children who's going to carry this torch. And so once again, I personally don't believe in coincidence. It is not good to judge a person where you see them now. It's good to be understanding because people grow. And to see this growth in Master P, I can only imagine if you're basketball players, you're retired basketball players, you're retired business people who got these nice retirement packages who just want to give back. You're formed dope boys. Because I can tell you another thing, there's this big talk about digitizing money, digital wallets. And there's going to come a time where people are going to have to give their cash. Like, hey, if you want to have value, you're going to have to bring me your cash. You're going to have to bring me your mattress money. I'm not saying this or that. I'm not promoting laundering. But what I will say is you might want to invest in something tangible now while it has value. However one wants to take that. What Master P is doing with this grocery store chain, with the cereals, with the rice, even buying Reebok, because guess what? In a weird way, shoes are made from natural materials. Whether you're talking about leather, whether you're talking about fiber. I think about the hemp, for example. So I know in Kentucky last year, a lot of farmers lost money on hemp because everybody was producing for oil. And so now you ride up and down the street, everybody has hemp oil, some sort of hemp oil derived product. Now it has no value because everybody has it. Versus hemp is also good for fiber. There's 25,000 different products you can get from hemp alone. So once again, one of the things, and this is, coming from cooperative extension, there wasn't any capacity to process fiber. And so once again, when we think about what are some tangible projects that need funding, we need processing capacity, not only for a product like hemp to where we can create threads, to create clothes. Think about Wrangler and their Wrangler on my booty line, right? We need processing for cornmeal. We need processing for, grains, different products that are created that we can then sell through a store like with what Master P is talking about. These are all very practical, realistic solutions. Like I said, it's easy for me to sit here and say, oh, this would be a great idea. This would be a great idea. But once again, here in Lexington, Kentucky, as lack of intelligent we are, my partner Ashley Smith and I have created Black Soil Our Better Nature, a fulfillment center. It's not a grocery store per se, but we're able to sell food. We're able to get produce from local farmers or farmers in rural areas and sell it to people within Lexington. And this is working with almost nothing. A lot of this is coming out of pocket. We've been fortunate to have work with different nonprofits to be able to have a little money to keep the operation going. But I just think, man, what if the community found value in what we're trying to build? Okay, we got this building, but right now, guess who's getting paid more for this building? It ain't a black person. And so my thing is, where are the black people at who's willing to buy these spaces to be able to help these endeavors? And like Master P said, we're not in this thing to try to live somebody's life or walk their path for them. More so than, okay, if you have the means to create this path, if you have the means to create these four walls to house these different products, by all means do it. Because picket signs aren't going to feed our future. We're seeing on a governmental level how much we're prioritized when it comes to our issues, especially our health. I would rather jab you than to feed you. I was talking to one of my family members yesterday, and I'm gonna shut up about it. But in some Section 8 housing complexes, they're saying, well, if you want to stay here, you gotta. This is real, y'all. This is real. My thing isn't to say what's right or wrong, but you never want to be in a situation where you have no choice. Right now, if my ancestors had the amount of money that black people have right now, if my ancestors had access to a such thing as a social media to reach out to wider demographics, if my ancestors knew that, hey, you know what, the whole world listens to this type of music that we make here at the location we're at. There's never been this many resources and opportunities in recorded history that I know of to really take action. And so once again, I really hope that people are looking at Master P's moves. You don't have to call them up, just watch. What does a light do? A light just shines. Lights don't talk, lights don't speak English, lights don't give advice, they just shine. And so when we have people like Master P lighting this path, I would just ask that the B1 family figure out, what can I do to make this path more formidable for those coming behind me. I might not go grow anything. I really don't want to make a product. But you know what? I know a lot of people. I can point people in that direction.
And the beauty of Master P shining is that he's shining a light on the need for diversity in the grocery store space. He's shining the light of the need for the opportunities, the business opportunities in that area. And he also, in the video I just showed you at the interview, he spoke on the fact that a lot of stores have shut down. A lot of these stores have shut down during the pandemic. So these underserved communities with few resources available, few grocery stores, living in a food desert, uh, those stores just aren't there anymore. So it's a glaring need for this. So he's leading the charge.
There's never been a moment in time, like in my 40 years, that all of these buildings are just empty. You rode through any hood in America, you're going to see all of these empty buildings. The people that own them are just trying to liquidate right now. Like, you know what? Let me just get rid of this. And so the people who are poised and in position to buy them, buy them. Don't just buy them to have an asset to sit and no, have a very specific operation to be run out of them. You can't go wrong with food because people have to eat.
Definitely, we have to eat. And outside of just business, Master P is also still using food as a form of activism and community service. And I'd like to show you this as well. Master P partnered with a popular grocery chain in the New Orleans area called Rouse. Now there's a high rise uh, elderly community, and he actually put a grocery store basically in a nursing home. It's an elderly community it's a community high rise for the elderly and disabled. And he put a grocery store in that building so that these folks have access to food and healthy food options in their own building. And it's just a great show of community support, and also how you can empower people through food. Uh, Again, this is a very short video, less than 3 minutes, and I want to share this with the B1AG family.
guys are showing their heart. They're a part of this. I've been a part of this community for over 21 years. Nobody else has stepped up. A lot of people say stuff. These are guys who have a real plan and action, and they are here in this community, helping this culture, and that's what I love. I love that what he's doing, what his dad is doing. They saying, you know what, nobody's perfect. We're moving on, and I think that's what the city of New Orleans, the people here in the community, we need to figure out how to build economic empowerment.
You know, we're a good company. We have over 7,000 great employees. We service thousands and thousands of customers every single day. So we're here for our communities like we've always been. We continue growing with our communities. We have great partners that we're continue partnering with and expanding our outreach to our community.
I'm so proud of Master P and Rouse for taking care of us seniors over here and feeding us and look out for us and open the grocery store.
Thanks to Rouse that we have a grocery store now in a Gus high rise. Thank you, Lord, and thank Master P.
Today is a great day. Mr. Donald Rouse Sr., Donald Rouse Jr., they really are doing a great job putting this place right here.
Everybody's not perfect.
But I think that these guys have a heart of gold. They've been giving back for years. Nobody never promote that. And so that's what I love about today. And these guys showed up. What Rawson has done in partnering up with us to do this is incredible. That's what I want to tell y'all. So we're moving on with love. And now the elderly can come down, get eggs, get groceries. This is what I'm talking about.
Look at this.
Yeah, this is amazing. This is incredible.
This is what it's all about.
Everything they need, they don't have to go nowhere now. They're right here.
And we got to give back to the elderly. It's so important because they're the ones who raise us.
Yep.
It's about community.
Yeah.
That's what that there said. Community at the heart of everything we do.
So I really hope that y'all can see that Master P is not only using food for just financial empowerment, but he's also building community and just really injecting himself in creating a food system, he's building up and strengthening the local food system right there in New Orleans and laying out the framework for other people to follow to do the same in their own cities. There are buildings, if you can't farm, at least take one of these old buildings that are for sale, because America is for sale. Take one of these buildings and open up a store. It doesn't even have to be a big store. Just open up and have space and have the ability to distribute food, a point of sale. You know, it's time to get creative because we got to eat. Literally, we have to feed ourselves. They're not going to feed us. We're already living in food deserts, and they're closing down the stores that were there. So it's an opportunity for us to rebuild and do more and do greater. And as you see, he's partnering right now, just partnering with one grocery store chain that he put in that elderly community. That's just the beginning. Because we've already seen, and Master P has shown and proved, hey, he plants seeds, and all of his seeds grow, and they harvest well, and that's a wonderful thing. Master P is a soldier for agriculture. So what about you? What about me? What about us? Let us all be no limit soldiers for agriculture. It's the most sure way to achieve financial and socio-economic freedom is through agriculture, food. Because food, agriculture, the need to sustain ourselves permeates all businesses. Food, clothing, shelter. These are basic needs. If you can supply that for yourself and others, you'll always be wealthy. Because the true wealth is the ability to sustain life, especially your own. So that's where the money's at. Food flip harder than crack. Everybody don't smoke crack. Everybody eats. There ain't no drug. Food flips harder than Bugattis. Food flips harder than Gucci. Food flips harder Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton, hey, it's an article of clothing. There are plenty of replacements for that. There's not a replacement, at least not yet. They're working on it. They're working on it. Please believe me. But food flips harder than all that because it's a necessity of life. And I hope our B1AG family can see that outside of us just talking about food and this is space, in this agricultural space. I'm hoping that we can show you the true essence of value and what's really important. You know, everything that's marketed to us, it creates a value. Some of it's intrinsic, some of it's real, but the real is right there in agriculture. You got anything to say to him, Farmer Brian, to close us out?
I just want to end it by saying life imitates art, and Percy Miller, a.k.a. Master P, is painting a perfect picture for us to follow. Let's get on code, y'all. Let's feed ourselves. This is our finest hour. It's time to show and prove.
Man. Farmer Brown. Trying to let these people know. But if they really want to know something.
4, 3, 2, 1, get them shovels out. Let's learn how to grow something.
There it is. B1AG, and thank you again for tuning in. Please like, share, and also before we get out of here, I want to make an open call. I want to make an open call to Master P. Master P, we're here on the Black Boss Network. You know, it's ran through Dr. Boyce Watkins News Network. Please reach out to Boyce. We would love to have you on the show. We need to talk to you, and specifically about all of your endeavors in food. I want to put an open call out to Killer Mike. ATL, Killer Mike. I know you down with culture. We need to talk to you. We need to talk to you. We have a lot of ideas, as well as we just want to open up the conversation for agriculture, especially as it pertains to hip hop and the hip hop community. Jay Prince, Rap A Lot Records. We need you, bro. Me and Farmer Brown know about your contributions to agriculture. We feel like the world needs to know that. We would love to talk to you. Willie D, Ghetto Boys. I know you know Boys. We would love to talk to you. I know about you. We know about your agricultural endeavors. We would love to talk to you. This is an open call out. Open shout out. We salute you for what you're doing. We want to celebrate you for what you're doing in agriculture. CeeLo, the Goodemall. We know you have a ranch. We know you're understanding about the importance of growing your own food. You're a Georgia boy too, and we like to eat good. Let's talk about it. Let's open up this conversation and really show the hip hop community how tied we are to this food, how this is all intersecting, because food is tied to everything we do, because we gotta eat. 4, 3, 2, 1. 1 million shovels in. 4, 3, 2, 1. 1 million shovels in the ground. Let's get it. B1AG, come back to you again. Y'all, peace out. Be safe.